of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters. These heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl, Josh, and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
Okay, so welcome to Tokudon, guys. I thank you everyone for showing up on a weird random day we don't normally record. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, middle of the week, kind of weird, but we're here.
We are here, and we actually have a very special guest with us today. If you would like to introduce yourself, my good sir.
Hi everybody, my name is David Clarke, brand manager over at Bluefin, also known as Bond Dynamics of Collectibles. I'm in charge of our team Kamen Rider, and I also do Flame Toy, Sentinel, and I'm usually involved a lot with the Gunpla as well too. So,
ooh, now you're speaking my language. All right, so we're here to talk about some of that cool stuff, and specifically Team Kamen Rider. Can't talk already. It's gonna be a good one. And just kind of what you guys. The entire point of Team Kamen Rider is kind of to bring Tokusatsu and help Tokusatsu come westward, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. We saw that there was definitely a community here, and we figured, hey, we're tired of spending extra money to get things over here too, so let's start a movement.
Yeah, definitely. So I just a little bit of how we got in contact. I was working through work, and I saw the page, and I reached out, and I was like, hey, we do a podcast, and it would be awesome if we had you guys on. So that's kind of the brief history of how we linked up here, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we're going to talk about, and what Team Kamen Rider is going to do. What you guys work specifically Tokusatsu, correct? When it comes to streaming and things like that. Yeah,
because Tokusatsu, they have the streaming rights for Kamen Rider in America, so we work very closely with them. It was very cool earlier this year. I believe it was January. It's kind of hard to believe to remember the before time, before the lockdown. But I remember we had a chance to go to their studio and talk with them. And I at the end I said, hey, can we post a picture of us in front of your sign with no context online? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. People went nuts, and it was awesome to see. So, but they've been great partners. They were a big help during our Heisei Week event earlier this year in July. So.
Awesome. Very cool. And it's not just Kamen Rider, right? Like they stream, I believe they stream Ultraman as well. I've seen some Ultraman on there.
They just got a huge win with Ultraman. They got like dang near everything, it looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Admittedly, we're not exactly versed on a lot of Ultraman, but we've seen some good ones. So, a little bit of Ginga, a little bit of Orb, that kind of stuff.
Right.
What's your personal favorite Toku or Kamen Rider or anything like that?
I guess my journey in Toku started when I was a wee lad with Power Rangers. like everybody else.
Like most of us,
yeah. I was very much into the Power Rangers when I was a little kid. And then, but now as an adult, I'm more into the Kamen Rider side of things. And I've made it no secret that my favorite Kamen Rider of all time is Kamen Rider Gaim, he is the true and correct best Kamen Rider. Yeah. But I got into Rider a little over a year ago.
Agreed.
Because when I was presented with the opportunity to work with Team Rider and to lead this project, I decided that I shouldn't be leading anything that I don't know. Fair. So I jumped into it just so that I would know. But then I bought a belt, and then another belt, and then I bought some NFTs.
The slippery slope again. I get it. We get it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're like $3,000 deep, and you're like, why do I have 7 belts? It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Oh yeah. It gets crazy, but I regret none of it.
There you go. Well, we actually have we're personal friends of Gaim ourselves, especially Rob. That's actually what his all-time favorite Kamen Rider as well.
Oh, good. A man of culture.
Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, so if anyone's watching, I appreciate you guys all for watching. You can see here, this is the Bluefin website, and I think I can get to Team Kamen Rider. Is there any kind of like special? It looks like you guys still have the Black Friday stuff going on.
Yeah. Because of the way the world is right now, like everyone's kind of made Black Friday just like, hey, you know what? Just keep it going.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Nothing's normal this year.
I mean, when you think about how much has been adjusted since the before times, like I don't know how everyone else has been managing their addiction, but my Toku addiction has been stronger than it's ever been, just because we've had to be more resourceful on where we find our stuff. I mean, I've gotten through all of X8, all of Kabuto, and I just restarted Blade. So it's like all of this stuff is happening all because I have no time to do anything else.
So it worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, man.
Dude, Blade is my personal favorite. Honestly, that thing is that is the one that cuts deep for me.
Yeah, I keep meaning to start that. Right now, I'm trying to finish Ryuki, but I'm gonna go to Blade eventually because I just bought the Garen CSM.
Okay.
So I should probably watch this show so I know what this means.
Yeah, figure out why there's a giant wheel of cards on the back of it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. One of my favorite aspects is actually the ending, so I don't want to get too much into it. So we won't talk about that. But yeah,
I don't know how many spoilers we can get into, but definitely it's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay. It's good.
Well, I mean, I when I started drinking the Kool-Aid, it was middle of college, I think, our second year, sophomore year. But Carl had mentioned he was into this show, and when you first, I don't know if everyone recalls their first moment of, that's what that is. Where he explained to me the show that he was watching, and obviously everybody always goes, oh, that's Power Rangers. But, when he gave me this DVD set of like, how many shows did you give me? Like all of them?
It was most of the plain Heisei, yeah.
Yeah. But it was like this giant DVD set, so I put on the first one, and a couple episodes in, I'm like, I think this is gonna be a problem for me, because I was like, this is gonna be my new fascination. I didn't know that I was into the genre without knowing the name. Does that make sense? Like, I had always been like all about the Power Rangers, all about and like even the animation. Like, I was into the Ronin Warriors, I was into even Americanized ones, like the what are those guys? The Centurions. I was watching those guys. Essentially, anybody who would transform using something into something else was always my thing.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's it's that one little thing. It just gets the spark going, and then like we said, the slippery slope.
I mean, I know for me in terms of merchandise, like like when I was starting to like the show, like I didn't, I thought like my first belt was the the Build DX belt, and I thought I was gonna be okay for a while and just collect the bottles or whatever, but I made another trip to Japan last year, and I mean, I've been to Japan before, but never as a Rider fan, because usually I had to worry about buying Gunpla, right?
Yeah.
But I went to, and I'll never forget this, it was Mandarake, and at Nakano Broadway. If you go to the third floor, like their whole shop on that floor is like just Toku, like heaven. And when I got there were so many things there. I just started taking photos to my group chat and going, guys, look at all this stuff. Like, I didn't realize that it was like 1 a.m. for everyone back home, but everyone was up.
Oh yeah.
Like everybody, like Ken, also on Team Rider, would send me back photos, and he had already circled things on the photo, like, dude, get this, get this. And I was just so overwhelmed. I mean, it was crazy. Like, going to Japan as a Toku fan really accelerated the descent into darkness, I guess.
That's awesome.
I really want to take a trip over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. I was supposed to go like 3 times this year. I was super pissed.
Yeah, that's always been the 10-year plan. Just go over there and lose a ticket back, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, I lost my ticket. I guess I'm stuck here.
Oh no.
Like, oh darn. I mean, shoot. Now that we're all working remote, like I could just get an office over at Bandai headquarters. Like I don't have to come back.
Right.
Like I can just live over there.
There you go.
I have thought of that many times.
That's awesome. So what are you guys doing, to get back to, Team Kamen Rider and what you guys are doing to bring it west? What is like the next step you guys are doing towards that kind of thing?
Well, the biggest thing right now is just focusing on, gathering all the current fans, that exist, which what we've been doing mainly through our Team Rider US page on Twitter, just to solidify the base, and then really to try and kind of retrain some of the old habits. Cause I know, usually because there's no way to get Rider merchandise in America, people go to their usual spots that order straight from Japan.
Yeah.
But we got to kind of get people on, waiting on that train of buying, from us at least the things that we are bringing over, because that's how we're going to be able to show Japan side that, hey, there are Rider fans here. They are willing to purchase. It's worth the investment.
Yeah.
And that's really been happening a lot. Like definitely, Heisei Week, the Rider community, like you guys came out like in gangbusters. It was crazy. I had by the end of that week, I had people from Japan hitting me up saying, I'm seeing Rider trending in America and there's articles being written over here about it. Yeah. What did you guys do?
Yeah. I believe Kamen Rider was trending that week as well on Twitter.
Yeah. It got trending to number 5.
Yeah.
We were very happy about that. We said, hey, let's see if we can get this trending, and so we started posting about it. And like the best thing about that was when we saw James Gunn, he made a post saying that he loves that Kamen Rider is trending, and then he tagged Team Rider.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Which that was surreal. I was like, yo, this is happening. And of course, every article about that was about just him. I'm like, say Team Rider.
Just plug us, please. Just plug us.
Just put a link. Anything. But no, it was really cool. Someone made a meme. It was like Toei on Monday morning. So how'd the event go? And they took the meme of Will Smith pointing to the side, and it was to the top 5 trending. It was like that's how it went.
That's exactly how it went.
Amazing.
That is how the meeting went. They said, how'd it go? We were like, oh, well, you got trending.
Yeah.
So
that's so awesome. That's so awesome. Just as a fan in general, it's so awesome to see anytime Rider gets any kind of spotlight. Because obviously it's always been about Power Rangers and Sentai and stuff like that. And it's so relieving and awesome. Even just doing our podcast that we've been doing for a little bit now, seeing that kind of stuff happen, it's so cool just as a fan.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is cool to see that, there are fans out there, and it was even better to prove it to the people in Japan.
Yeah.
Another thing from the before time, in February during Toy Fair, we had decided to do a Team Kamen Rider meetup, outside of Toy Fair.
Yeah.
And, we weren't sure how many people would show up. We thought, it'd be a few. But it was over 100 people that showed up. We had people come out and cosplay. We picked a spot in Times Square. It got so huge that the cops came over. They said, "What's happening?" So one of our digital guys went over and said he tried to explain to them what Kamen Rider was. And the cop just all right, and they just left. They're like, okay, I guess. No one here is a threat. We're like, yeah, we're the least threatening people you will ever find. But we all got together. Everyone had their belt on. We all yelled Henshin. It was great. But the cool thing about that event though was that, and we didn't point them out because we want people to bombard them with questions, but we had some Bandai executives from Japan who were in the crowd just watching, and they were like, we get it now. Like, we believe you. I'm like, yes, I brought them here in person. They exist, you know. And it was also like they were all like taking videos and texting it back home, and you know, getting these these intense reactions. Like, oh my God, there are Rider fans here, you know. And you know, thankfully, you know, they've been very happy with us, giving us more and more leeway. You know, one of the big things that you know, I think may have been lost on some people online was when we changed our name from Team Rider to Team Kamen Rider.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, I don't think maybe understood like the gravity of that. The cool thing with that is that after Heisei Week and everything, like Toei they were so happy with what we were doing. They requested that we change our name from Team Rider to Team Kamen Rider.
That's awesome.
Really?
Anybody who knows Toei knows they are very protective of the things they own.
Yeah.
And for them to ask us to take on that name was a huge honor.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, like that was like I had to read the email several times, and then I had to get a meeting together at work for us to all look at the email. I'm like, am I seeing the same thing? Like,
is this happening? Who needs to pinch me? Let's go.
This is awesome.
I don't want to post this new logo, and then I was wrong. You know,
that's amazing.
And you know, like, you know, some of the things are still in the final stages of planning, but we do have a thing, an event coming up later this month where we're going to be debuting a really cool thing for giveaway that is going to, you know, officially have the Team Kamen Rider logo on it for the first time. So that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a pretty cool Christmas gift.
That is awesome.
And kind of to us just to see that, hey, it works. It wasn't for nothing.
That's awesome.
You know?
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, no, it's definitely been a good year, and you know, the plans were working. You know, every time we did an event, we would tell people, hey, make sure you just be loud. Yeah. You know, let them know. Be loud. Yeah. And you know, I don't know, I saw, but we've had some Kamen Rider actors hit us up on social media. The actor for Agito started talking with us. Some of the guys from Saber were like either retweeting our stuff or commenting on things.
That's amazing.
Like it was nuts. Like there was like a good 3 or 4 month period in the summer where like every time we would meet with either Bondi execs or with Toei or something.
Yeah. Like
half of the presentation was just, so here are the tweets from like actors that you employ.
That's so cool.
You know, like and you guys were you there for Heisei Week? Like, did you like watch the streams and stuff, or?
Unfortunately, no. Work's been very hectic.
Please tell us all about it, though.
I understand, but during Heisei Week, we were showing Heisei Duration Forever.
Okay.
But one of the cool things, which by the way was the first time a Kamen Rider movie was ever brought to America legally.
That's awesome.
That was already like a triumph. But then I got one more first, and this took 6 months of work. This was actually harder to get than the movie, which, by the way, shout out to Shout Factory for helping with the movie. But the hardest thing was we got the actor for Woes to give a message to Americans, which had never happened before. A writer giving a message to America officially, and so we got to give a message to Team Kamen Rider and to all the fans in America, and to see like people's reaction to the video, because like, it was a surprise, like it was a shock, like it just kind of came on the screen. People were like, "Yo, what?"
That's sick.
And then you know, we got him to give away a signed Beyond Driver, which
awesome.
were you know, people really loved that. But then the thing that was the hardest to get, that we were working on all the way up until the day he filmed that, was, I said, can he give us one EY? and there's a lot of back and forth on that, and they're like, I don't know, like, he's gonna be in costume, and I was like, look, just once,
just one for me,
just once. You know, and so you know, I used to, and like, so like the guy from our side over in Japan, like, look, Dave, like, I'm gonna try, like the day of shooting, I'm gonna try and get them to do it, right? And then he sent me the video, and I'm watching it, and then like he got in the post, I'm like, no, and then he went, EY, and I was like, yo! And so when we showed the video to the to the fans, like, so like people who recorded the reaction, watching the reaction to when he said that, I was like, that made the 6 months worth it.
There you go.
And then I screenshotted all of built those and sent that back to Japan, and they were like, "Oh, you were right." I'm like, "Yes, thank you." You know?
That's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, like it was great, and it had a really big impact on things going forward. And so the event we have coming up, this month it's going to be celebrating 1 year anniversary of Team Rider selling belts.
Already a year, wow.
Yeah, our first time selling it, I believe, was November 6th last year when we offered the double CSM 1.5 and the Lost Driver DX. And so it's now it was going to be in November, but like everything this year, nothing.
2020. Just say 2020. That's the excuse. We get it.
As it was.
2020 happened. But the cool thing is, every time we've had to delay it internally, it's only been because we've been adding more stuff. One of the big delays, which I'll be able to explain after the event is over, is that Toei came to us with a really, really cool collaboration.
Okay.
That it was another one of the things where I was like, did they just mean what they said? Like, was that a translation error? They're like, no.
You guys are messing with me, right? Like this, you guys are messing with me.
Say that one more time. Come again.
Okay, I'm cool with this. So like that's one of the cool things with this is that like I know people have been waiting for we said that there was an event coming, but every delay has been because of something being added. Like more things to give away, more collaboration from Toei, like some really good stuff coming. So
awesome.
It should be.
It sounds so promising. You're building it up so good.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about it, and and just what the one thing I want people to understand is that even the little things you see Team Kamen Rider doing in terms of working more with Toei or doing more with Kamen Rider, just know that builds a relationship between us, which means when events come back, when it's say time to bring an actor out in the flesh, like all of these little things, like please use the name Team Kamen Rider. Let's do the collaboration. That builds up credit so that when it's time to cash it in, we can get the cast of 01 to come out to Anime Expo or something,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing I was wondering that I wanted to ask you is, how can us guys on the podcast level, we would, I've always had this idea that if enough of us came under an umbrella, so to speak,
right,
like Team Kamen Rider, and enough voices were heard, I truly believe in what you're saying, that they'll hear us. And I'm sure they have their ear to the ground in terms of us looking at what you've been able to achieve so far. So the time is coming. It's just, what do you think would be the best push for North America? Like,
right.
Where would we start with a Toku series? Like, I don't know. It's definitely an idea that I'm sure every Toku fan has entertained about. Well, why don't they bring Kamen Rider here? And a lot of us tend to forget some of the traumatic attempts. But just the general idea of, given that it is where it is now,
right,
a solid push would be amazing at this time.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I know definitely helps is, and you'll notice it in our post, is we've just started using hashtag Kamen Rider for everything. Like we want that to just be like a baseline practice for all Kamen Rider fans. Use hashtag Kamen Rider so that when we send that hashtag back to Japan and they look it up, they can see that ever growing list of posts about it. In English.
This is the way.
Yeah, this is the way.
This is the way.
Also, like being involved in whatever we do in an event. Sharing the posts. Obviously buying from retailers that support Kamen Rider through Bluefin. Making sure to opt for the US release rather than the Japanese release. Because people like the money goes and it finds its way back to the same place. However, if you buy the Japanese release, one, you're spending more money, and two, if you buy from someone else who had to buy it, like that sale doesn't really get recorded as being in America.
Right.
And so to Japan side, they see, oh, we had a lot of sales in Japan, but nothing from America, even though a bunch of that was sold in America, So make sure if you can, buy it. buy it, buy it with the Bluefin label on it. We will hold it against you if you buy things that we didn't offer, like the Saber Driver, and offer that. So I'm not holding that against you because it is what it is. I'm getting one too. Just supporting the retailers that support us, buying from the events and just really sharing and stuff and using hashtag Kamen Rider. Like, because those are like the real metrics that they're going to be looking at and deciding, hey, there are Rider fans here, the community is growing. And also, one of the things that I've noticed that the Rider community is really good at, because they were good at it with me, is bringing new fans into the fan base.
That's our resident Carl.
Yeah.
He's the Kool-Aid pourer, per se.
Like, talk to people about it, get them into it. If you have, younger siblings or, whatever, get them into it, and I've noticed that the Tokusatsu community, at least to me so far, has been very welcoming.
Yep.
And like one of the things I loved about it, because I have experienced other communities in my life in the nerd sphere that have been less welcoming, but for Kamen Rider, yeah, right. But for Kamen Rider, I remember specifically, and if you're listening, hi, Anime NYC. There was like 4 or 5 guys who would come up to me and were asking about the CSM 1.5 last year. And, I told them that, I'm new to Tokusatsu, I'm new to Kamen Rider, and, I'm watching Build right now, I'm going to Zio. And then, like, everyone had their own, like, well, this is the order you should watch it in. And you want this one and that one and that one, this. But the cool thing was, like, none of it was, like, mean. Right. It was just, like, you could tell it came from a legitimate place of joy.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was very welcoming and it was very encouraging. I'm like, oh man, like if this is what the community's like, I definitely want to do my best for them,
Yeah.
And it was just really encouraging.
See, we tend to poke fun because we love it so much. If we didn't, we wouldn't even bother. It's right. Really, our angle is just like, listen, everything about this is amazing to us. It really is one of the happier things in our life. So even when we're right. being slightly playfully mean, we don't. It's never malicious. It's always just like, well, right. Hey, this is what they were doing. Why not? Except that episode of Ultraman.
Ultraman
Dyna.
We don't talk.
That one's gonna bother me for a while. but no, honestly, it's really refreshing to hear an outside source tell us the same thing that we've always felt. It's solidifying.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like it's a good community, and maybe want to join it immediately. And also, it's also a fantastic show too. Like,
that does help usually. Yeah, that does help.
Yeah.
The moment where I knew that this was not going to be like how I thought was when I was watching Build. And there's that moment towards the end where, I don't want to give too many specifics, but like the
guy does the thing
is at the top of this tower thing.
Yeah.
The writers, hey, for every 10 minutes you're not up here, I'm open up a black hole and kill some people. Bro, clearly they're gonna get there at like 9 minutes 59 seconds and stop him. No, they took so long. Several black holes open.
They took like an hour to get up there. It was crazy.
I'm like, oh, those people are just dead. Like they're just gone.
They're gone, man.
What?
So I was like, oh, this is different.
Dave, without spoilers, what do you think your favorite aspect of Build was? Is it the characters or the designs of the suits?
I think for me, it was kind of the overall like mythos of the world, just seeing how much Japan had changed with the whole being divided into 3 nations thing. Right. Like I was really interested in just like I'm a writer myself. Like I write comic books in my free time, and so like I really like the world building in the background. Like Build was a world that like I'm like I could like not physically but mentally live in that world for a while just thinking about it. I would not want to live in that world. But it was just a really fun. Like it took me a few weeks after watching Build to actually start watching another Kamen Rider series.
Okay.
Because I would feel like I guess like in the morning stage of like, oh man, that show's over.
it really ranks among one of our favorites in terms of the story and how everything coalesced in that show. You know, too often, actually, what is it? The after Gaim, we had
about 4 seasons of mourning.
Okay. I mean, again, I gave X8 another chance, and I was proven wrong in my initial belief. I first didn't really like X8 because the designs were very distracting to me. I didn't think that this was a route that I would vibe with. But at the same time, you know, we fast forward a couple years. I think I watched it last year, and it was after no, actually, I had watched it after Geo. And when Geo ended, I'm like, I basically had seen all of them except X8. So I said, let's just do it. Let's just watch it. And then if I hate it, then I'll know that I really hate it. but around the 10th episode, I'm like, now wait a minute. I can look over the pink. If I can get over the pink, this show is actually really good. And I realized that I was holding myself back because of just a design thing. You know, it actually has a really good story and it plays out very well, and I enjoy it now. So even just surprising myself. So definitely, I think that between Gaim, Build, and I want to put 01 in the same realm, but I'm not. I don't know yet. I need that final movie to really nail that home. What do you think?
Yeah. The thing I feel bad about for 01 is that, I mean, clearly the ending was impacted by COVID. I mean,
right, yeah.
Which sucks. Is, like, we'll never know truly, like how even better it could have been towards the end. Because they're like, hey, hurry to film this before we get killed by this invisible virus, please. Let's go home. You know?
It's like The Happening. They're just running from the wind as they're trying to film it.
Right? Oh, God, you know? But no, I love 01. 01 was great. 01 was hard on my wallet. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
like Zero for Zio was less hard because like I'm a diehard ride watch collector. In the office, in my desk. Well, back when we were allowed in the office, at my desk I had a 5 or 6 tiered ride watch Daiso.
Oh.
And I believe I have every ride watch that I want except for Gates Majesty.
Gates Majesty.
I have all the other ones that I cared about. But see, the thing is though, most ride watches by the time I got on in 2019, so most of the ride watches were fairly affordable, and the list was for the most part completed. I started watching 01 as it started airing, and the constant releases of the progress keys and the belts, and I'm like, oh my god, it really is never over. Like, you know,
it's set up for us.
I love the progress keys.
Yeah,
I've got dang near all of them. You know, and it was hard. There's so many belts and so many things to collect, but I regret none of it.
I will say, you know, COVID did do that good thing for my wallet because I was, you know, the anxiety of, am I going back to work ever? I didn't buy as many.
What?
Yeah.
So you're big on Geo. What's your favorite another rider?
I liked another Zio just because I like the idea of him being challenged. Because, you know, we knew he was going to be the all-powerful, unbeatable god by the end of the show, but I'm like, I liked him having that struggle. I also, on a similar vein, I like that angle that they did in the, I forget the name of the movie, but when Zio found out that he wasn't like the original, like he wasn't meant to be Zio.
Yeah. The Overquartzer, is that what it was? That movie?
Yeah,
Overquartzer.
Yeah. I love anybody who could challenge him. I also love when Oma came back in time and said, "Hey, we weren't destined to be this. We willed ourselves into doing this." And I was like,
"Yeah,
okay. All right."
Oma is a very, very difficult situation when it comes to power scaling. Like, you always want your sentimental favorite to be like the strongest, but it's impossible to overcome the Oma level power.
The way I look at it is, I think Oma is a little under Gaim because Oma can die. He's a human at the end of the day. He's very powerful. Gaim is a god.
Yeah.
So if you literally say
Space Jesus,
so you're putting Dai Shogun against Omagio, in a battle of attrition. Okay, I see that.
Yeah. In a battle of attrition, like, I mean, truth be told, dude, Gaim could just wait.
He's like, you go ahead and have your little fit. I'll be on Mars.
You stop time. I'll hang out over here.
300 years.
Right. Because, and you know, some people might disagree, but I'm like, if you think about it, in ZO, when it came to the Gaim episodes, like, God Gaim spoke to Sogo. He pulled him out of the timeline to speak to him.
True.
But think about it. If Oma exists, that means he took Gaim's power, right? He took Gaim's power, but Gaim was still able to pull him out of the time. Out of the time stream.
There's so much going on. There's so much going on. Wait, no, it's you. No, you're stronger. No, wait, no,
right.
You're stronger.
And like one of the things that I've always been trying to get clarified is, we know that he has Gaim's rider power, but does that mean he has Gaim's god power? Because those are two separate-ish things, I believe.
That is the best point I've heard in a long time.
Well, another Gaim is only the base, right? Vanilla. Another Gaim is Vanilla Gaim.
Yeah.
And
right.
I'm thinking it would just be base, maybe.
I think he probably has access to all, like the Gaim rider power comes from the lock seeds plus the human-made belt. The god power, that's something different.
That's some DJ Sagara Eden level stuff.
Yeah.
Sagara, yeah, man. Well, but Sagara would absolutely stomp the hell out of Tassel. Let's just say that. Can we agree with that?
Yeah.
What's your take on Tassel? That's a curious question. Enough said. I get it.
Yeah.
100%.
Give it like 2 episodes when he shows up with King Arthur Man. We'll see how it goes.
I'll put it this way. I'm waiting till Saber is over to just binge watch it.
Okay.
Interesting. So you haven't seen anything yet?
I saw episode 1.
Just one? Okay.
And then I decided to wait till it was over to binge.
All right. So
there you go.
We've been really big on Saber. Saber has really surprised us in the quality. Just thinking,
right.
Let's forewarn you without spoilers. You're going into a happy-go-lucky rider, but the darkness of it is layered enough where an adult can get the real darkness, where a kid is just going to perceive it XYZ way. So
right.
I think, and this is just based off the end of 01, where you see this transition, because 01 got dark and it was really good. But given the state of the world, I'm sure they wanted to, pick people back up. So I don't know how dark Saber will be, but rest assured that it's very good. And the biggest difference you're going to see from 01 to Saber is the filming techniques. So you're going to see a lot of that, and I hope you appreciate it, because it is.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're using a lot more CG.
Yes.
Unreal
CG, not necessarily what they're using.
And a giant bubble machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like like some people had a problem with that, but I'm like, guys, it's COVID. Yeah. As least real things they can use, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and it's not even terrible. It's it doesn't look as distracting as when like another Kabuto. You know what I mean? Another Kuga. Excuse me.
Kuga.
It doesn't look that jarring. But but it's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch all of it once once it's finished, just to binge it, because I did not like the feeling of when I was watching 01, and then I caught up, and then like I had to wait every week. I'm like, wait, what is this?
Yep.
What is this waiting?
Okay. So that's who we are. You're the give me now. Got it.
Yeah, I'm like, I watch episode 10 right now. I have to wait until 7 more days.
I'm right here right now. We can just keep going. Like, why do we have to stop?
Yeah, exactly. I will watch it though. And I'm hoping we can. I tried so hard to get us to bring over the Saber driver, man. The Seiken driver. I tried so hard. Oh,
the Seiken driver. I'll be first, please. I'll be first. Brave. In terms of everything, Saber is like the ideal rider for who I am as a person. He's a novelist. He's got fire. He's all about it. It's just Keen. I could go on for days, but I'll wait till you catch up, and then we'll catch back up later.
No problem.
That's our excuse to have you on the show again. That's all it is.
Exactly. I was trying to be subtle about it, Carl. But yeah. but the one thing I did want to ask you, Dave. I know you have your establishment now in the Kamen Rider, but your heart belongs to Gundam.
Yeah, so that was my first love. I got into Gundam around 7 or 8 when my brother gave me the first DVD of Gundam Wing way back in the day.
Gundam Wing, Culture Man, yes.
And I started watching that, and I found out about Gunpla, and I would build them, and I didn't know what it was called back then, but I would kit bash and make my own and make stories off them, which is why I became a writer later on. It's just the fun I had as a kid making stories out of it, and and then I went from after Gundam Wing, I was handed Evangelion, which should have.
Wait, what?
How old were you when you were handed Evangelion?
I was like 8 or 9, and my brother was 8.
9 years old.
And look, I know it's not my brother's fault, but what happened was he saw that there was a robot on the cover.
Okay.
And he assumed that it would be the same thing as Gundam.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
By the end of episode 1, I was traumatized. I then watched.
Yeah. You felt like Shinji in the suit. Is that what it was?
I was like, I watched the whole thing and all the movies. I'm like, oh gosh.
Oh no.
I am too young.
Oh no.
No. Oh, that explains that.
But no, I really got into Gundam. I've been building Gunpla for over 20 years now. I get to run the American arm of the GBWC, the Gunpla Builders World Cup every year, which is
really
nice.
And then last year at Anime NYC, I got to meet Tomino, the man who created Gundam.
Oh man!
Oh my God, are you serious, bro?
To this day, it's still my Facebook picture of me with him. And people say, "Don't meet your heroes." Nah, forget that.
I heard he's super chill.
Nah,
yeah.
I'm going.
He was hilarious. Like I said, you were why I became a writer, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Yeah, I get it. But yeah, Gundam's been like my first and foremost, and now I try and wrap it in with everything else. I'm working on a diorama which is going to have a master grade Kamen Rider first and RX-78. Okay. I'm going to do the RX-78 in the Kamen Rider pose and Kamen Rider colors, and then do the Kamen Rider in RX-78 colors in the RX-78.
Okay, yeah, bro, yeah.
They're both the name picks for the whole meta series. So
that is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, come on, dude. That sounds epic, man.
I love Gundam. In I think it's 2017, I made an emergency trip to Japan. Like my first trip ever to Japan was a poorly planned emergency trip when I found out that they were taking the RX-78 1/1 scale down.
Oh no!
And I was like, I have to be there, and so I planned a trip to be there for the last week of the RX-78. And through
is it every bit as glorious as we imagine it is?
I didn't cry, but I am told by my sister who was there with me that she thought I was gonna die. But it was amazing. Like when you walk through the mall on the ground floor, you walk through the food court, and when you're getting towards the exit doors, you could see the foot. And walk out, and then you just see it in its full glory. And the cool thing was, through a hotel mix-up, thank you AAA.
Boy,
got bumped up from a regular hotel, like 4 or 5 miles away from the Gundam base, to the Grand Nico, which is the Gundam hotel right next to the Gundam. So I got to wake up every day, look at the window at the Gundam.
Oh my
you
God!
Just sip coffee and looking at the beam saber the whole time. Is that what it was?
It's amazing. They have this cool light show that they do. Awesome. And then I went there on the last night that it was going to be up because I'm like, well, let me just see if there's going to be an event there, right? And when I got there, there's all these Bandai execs, and Tomino came out and was speaking, and I was pretty far back, but I was able to experience it, and that was that trip, and me being there. That happened. That was in March, and then it was in June that year where I got hired by Bluefin. So that happened like right before I became a Bandai employee.
That's awesome.
So
oh wow.
it was. And when I was there at that moment, I hadn't even applied yet. Like I didn't even know that there was going to be an opening, and so like it was a big shift from being like a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say crying, but was near tears.
You can say it. You were ugly crying. You can say it.
It's okay, man. It's okay because we would be too. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it was amazing though. But yeah, Gundam has been a big part of my life, and without it, I would not have been where I am right now. Because I wanted to work for Bandai because of Gundam.
That's amazing. Yeah, if anyone has seen the stream at all, I have a literal stack of Gunpla sitting at the end of the desk here, and Reversible Gundam is usually sitting, in the stream somewhere. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, my entire desk is littered with different projects that I'm working on right now. Like half built Gunpla, some that are waiting to be painted, some that are like half painted. I also got, I don't know if you guys are into it, but Bandai has another model kit line called 30-Minute Mission.
Oh, yes.
Like
I love the 30-minute missions.
What is that? I haven't heard of this.
So
it's
go ahead, Dave.
It's amazing. It's a line of these high grade style mechs that you can they're all compatible. Like they have all the same joints, same plugs as each other, so you can like mix and match, make your own. It's very much about customizing. And the cool thing is they're also compatible with most high grades too, for Gunpla.
Yep.
It's kind of like an equivalent of like some of the other companies that I can't mention who have their own other really cool weapon packs and armor packs and stuff, and it's like an equivalent to that. And so like I go heavy on that. Whenever something new comes out, like an armor pack or a weapon pack or something, I buy an entire case, like a MasterCard.
Wow.
And I'm going to use it,
It's literally they take the Zaku 2 and the GMs and just crank it to like the nth degree where you can just do whatever the hell you want with them.
Really?
It's so cool, yeah. Like there's the 3mm pegs, the standard connection, like all over the bodies, all over everything. It's so cool.
Fantastic.
Can I do it with a Jesta?
Yes.
There's so many options. Like one of the cool things I like is for one of the newer units, the Rabiat option weapon 1 came out a few months ago. And it has like this this really cool big like sword hand knife thing.
That's the one with the Excalibur sword, right?
Yeah,
sword hand knife thing.
I think it's like a scimitar. Like it's like some big pointed weapon. But if you buy 4 of that pack, it turns into a Fuma shuriken, like a windmill shuriken.
Yes.
Oh, what?
So
really?
It's super cool.
I bought 16 of them.
There was an argument over more blades.
Yeah,
there was an argument.
Like it's funny, like at the office, they're like, "Dave, why are you buying an entire box?" I'm like, "Because
No
you need 4 one shuriken."
Listen, don't ask questions you don't like the answer to. Okay?
There's no questions. There's no questions at this time. This is work. You guys go sit.
Right? It's always funny to see the reaction when I buy things at the office. Like the first thing I ever bought there, I was working on I'm pretty big into Naruto too. I was working on a true 1,000 hands kit bash using the O, and also make it like it's like a wood style thing. And for the hands, I was looking at getting a bunch of the hands from the MG GOG, like the big striking hands. And so like I ordered 6. And so like when I went down to the office, like they're like, did you mean to order 6 GOGs? I'm like, yeah. I would have ordered 12, but we were out. So
don't worry about the 11 that don't have hands now, okay?
Right. So. Yeah, no, like 30-minute mission is like a kit basher's dream.
Yeah,
okay,
they're very cool.
I mean, I have a couple kits that I built when I was younger, but I've never painted any of them, so they're just like in the box built, and I have nothing to do with them because I can't. I'm not gonna attest to any of my painting or drawing skills, so I know I'll miss that if I even try it. But honestly, let me hold on. You continue. I'm gonna be right back. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I have something to show you.
Oh
man.
But yeah, that's one thing that I like about 30-minute missions is that they're also easy to paint too, because of how the joints are structured. You can just kind of paint it in chunks.
Yeah, I've never seen anything that's so like made for panel lining. I think ever released by Bandai. Like it's just so panel lining friendly. There's no kind of extra like scribing or anything you have to do. Like it's very cool design, and I was very impressed by how simple they are too. Really.
Yeah, and like the first time I built it, I actually timed myself, and it did take me 30 minutes the first time.
Nice, very cool, very cool.
But on top of that, we also have we have molecules from Flame Toys too, which is like for like our Transformers line, which is pretty cool.
That's
like
Josh's
a halfway
forte.
like a halfway point between high grades and master grades in terms of like size and complexity.
Very cool.
I'm actually working on a custom Kit Bash, Optimus Prime, and Thundercracker right now. And we have some non-Transformer model kits coming out from Flame Toys next year too, which are going to be pretty groundbreaking. So I'm pretty happy with them.
Okay. Non-Transformer.
Yeah, we're branching out.
Any hints? Can I get a letter? Can I get a first letter?
I can't. I really can't.
We can or cannot deny that it is a go by.
Making the first announcements. The first announcement should be around when Toy Fair should be, so around February-ish.
Okay.
For the series. And then the other series, I can't tell you what series it is, but I just know this. It's something that we used to have at Bluefin, then it was gone, and now it's making its return. So
all
right. I'll leave you all hanging on that. It's something is coming home.
I hear the keyboard's clacking already.
There's something coming. Just
no, but I'm very excited about it. And I've like for the things coming next year. I've seen the prototypes. I've seen the drawings, and these things are gonna kill it, man. It's amazing. So it's gonna be a good year.
That's awesome. I mean, we're kind of running low on time here. I know you had some other stuff to do today, but one last question for you, or at least from my end, if you guys have any other ones. How do you temper the fangirl when all this stuff starts happening?
How do you keep yourself in check?
Yeah,
man?
how do you keep like the fevered sweat from exploding?
There are times where like for Kamen Rider, obviously they plan releases out far ahead of time, right?
Yeah. When
I get wind of that stuff, I have to go to somebody in the company and tell somebody.
Just anybody that you're allowed to.
Yeah. like whoever is like in the needs to know section, I'll just call them up on our system, and I'll go, hey, you got like 30 minutes?
Listen, sit down.
I need to vent to somebody who I know won't say anything, who's allowed to know, so that I can just kind of get it out. Like, for example, like one of the cool things about, like with 01, like back when the show was just starting, I knew what was coming out. Like I was showing all the stuff, and I had to act like I didn't know.
Yeah. Oh my god, those must have been impossible.
Like an entire year.
Shining Assault. What's that? That's crazy. What is that? Wow, weird.
I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This thing I didn't know about until right now.
That's incredible.
And like the hardest one though, the hardest thing that was to keep in check was finding out about the Gaim CSM.
Okay.
That was the hardest one to keep in, because
was that just like forehead throbbing, like shaking in your chair kind of thing?
There's so much stuff planned for this CSM, it's ridiculous. And it was really hard. It's still hard because it's not done. Like everything's still not done coming out for it. But it was when they showed me that, I'm like, how am I supposed to not say this to everybody right now? And it's just like, thankfully, like my friends have gotten used to the fact that I can't just tell them everything.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times it's been like 3 a.m. and a homie from New York is like, hey, what's next CSM? And I'm like, I can't tell you. Especially not through a text. Come on, man.
But then are they like, what if I use hashtag Kamen Rider and ask you? Is that?
Yeah, there we go. What if I do it that way? How about that?
I'll make a deal with you, okay?
No, it is difficult, but it is very much a learned skill on how to balance the business side and the fan side.
Yeah.
It's definitely you gotta try it really hard.
I can't imagine the level that you suppress, but I do want you to carry with you that what we think is you're doing dope. You're doing amazing. Please keep going the way you're going, because it's given us such a reinvigoration of our fandom and a verification that it is going to go somewhere, and it's going to go to a place that even our dreams haven't been yet. And the exciting part is that we're seeing it happen. It's not something we heard about. We're watching this happen with you. So I got to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that it's really paying off. I'm really glad that everyone's enjoying it, and it makes the long hours really good to see people's reaction online. I'm glad people appreciate it, because it's just like a lot of work goes into even the smallest of things when you're dealing with something as big as big a franchise as Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
So it means a lot to hear that. So thank you.
Yeah, man. No, thank you, bro. I mean, the whole thing is we're just gonna sit here thank each other unless we do something else. So.
No, but it's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year.
That is the understatement of the century.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I'm glad it's really turned out well. We've been able to do a lot in this year. I even almost met the actors for 01 and Zio when I was in Japan.
There you go.
Man. That was talking about fanboying. That was super hard, because you're not really allowed to like talk with them or get photos unless you go through their agency. There's an order to how you do things.
Yeah.
It's not like in America where you can just accost someone famous, go, hey, photo now.
America's weird like that. Crazy.
I was at the event last December called the Henshin, where they were showing off all the new CSMs and stuff. And I was talking with some of the people from Bandai, and then all of a sudden I feel a tap on my back, and I turn around and there's a security guard. I said, excuse me. And I turn, and they're escorting Zo and 01. Oh, wow. And they walk right by me, and I'm like, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Just don't.
I had my 01 and Deku driver in my bag. I'm like, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Did you like strap them on your biceps and start humming the theme songs? Was it one of those kind of moments?
I had a talk with me. I'm like, if I get a chance, I'm gonna ask him to sign. But I'm like, and then I got told you cannot ask him to sign. No.
Oh, really? No way.
Yeah, because basically if I was to ask him to sign, then everyone's gonna be.
Yeah, it would start like a cascade on there.
So, it makes sense, but it has been a whirlwind of a year, and I cannot wait for things to get somewhat back to normal, because we have a lot of plans for more Team Kamen Rider meetups, for more really cool in-person events, for some surprises, and of course next year being the 50th anniversary of Kamen Rider, we want to do
a big one.
We want to do some stuff big if we can, as long as it's safe.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely be signed up for that, because 50 years. Can you think?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure we're still going to be fans 50 years from now. So yeah, that'll work out. We'll be fine.
It's crazy to think that how Rider, it's older than Gundam, it's older than Hello Kitty. It bursts. It's one of the granddaddies out there. So it's gonna be cool to celebrate it.
Yeah, man. Seriously.
Well, Dave, I really do. We can't say it enough. We really do appreciate you hanging out with us today and letting us know, and just
honestly,
again,
awesome.
Lighting that flame under the West audience over here, and just sharing all that stuff with us, dude. It really was a pleasure.
Anytime, guys. It was fun. We have a lot of things coming up pretty soon, so I'd love to have you guys come on some of our live streams too if you're interested.
Absolutely. Yeah, we would definitely love that.
We're there, man.
Nice, cool.
So
thank you.
we're just gonna put the pin right now, and I want the record to show that he did agree to do a Saber wrap up. So we're gonna hold him to that.
So we're gonna hold him to that.
So and then we'll talk next year.
I may or may not restrain myself like you did with the actors. So I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just kidding. No, but again, we really appreciate you coming on, man. It's been
thank you so much for your time.
So much fun.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Yeah.
So shameless plug time if you want.
Please follow us at Team Rider US on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Make sure to use hashtag Kamen Rider. Whenever you're talking about Kamen Rider online, please use that. Check out the Team Rider page on bluefinbrands.com. We have some CSM, some DX, some SICs, some really cool stuff available on there as well. And yeah, just be on the lookout. We should be making an announcement pretty soon about our next event, so it should be fun.
Stoked.
Very cool.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Thank you, everyone who joined us. We really do appreciate you guys as well. And you can follow the channel, follow us on. I'm Carl. I'm at Kaiju Karu on all that stuff. 2 R's, 2 U's, all that kind of
Sick Mirror Tricks and everything else. This was Tokudon.
Yeah. Thank you again, everyone. I'm just blown away right now. I really do appreciate it.